So here's the starter. I finally got it out of the vehicle. Upon removing this main starter piece, this piece was just sitting kind of in the bell housing, touching the flywheel. So if we take a look at this piece, for one, I don't believe it's supposed to pop out. Maybe it does, I'm not sure. But as you can see, the teeth here, they're just a little bit chewed up. So I don't know where this goes or if it's even related to it. And this is the 1.8 kilowatt starter. And then if we look inside the starter, it looks a little misaligned. But basically what had happened is I started it, the plunger stayed out too long. So that starter little gear right there just got ground up. It was just going zzz, zzz, and immediately I knew it was broken. So I went ahead and parked the vehicle. Then when I tried to start it again, it wouldn't start, it would just spin. So I was able to plug that piece on. The way it works is so it's like that, it kind of rotates. So we have our remanufactured OEM starter from Toyota, and here's that part number. Notice it has the -84. That's the same as taking off the 84. The -84 just means it's remanufactured. And just a little recap of what I've done. But I first removed the negative terminal, then I removed the positive terminal. And then notice here on the transmission tube, I believe it was a 10 or a 12 millimeter bolt. It just bolts the tube to the block, so I also removed that. I then came to the transmission tube dipstick, and I removed the dipstick entirely. Then here on this tube, there's nothing holding it in. So it's actually just a little rubber O-ring. You literally just pull straight up as hard as you can on this, and it just pops out. So first there's a cover on this terminal that you pop off. Then you remove this 12 millimeter bolt. Then here there was an electrical connection where you have to push the tab inward and pull that straight out. And then securing the actual starter in place, there's two very long 12 millimeter bolts. And so those came out from this way. Then as you can see, I removed the entire wheel. So since it has that 4-wheel drive, we have a lot of mechanisms in here. So when some people unbolt the starter, they actually just drop it down through this lower control arm. But the way I did it was a little different than most people. So first there's these little rivet locations, and there will be a little piece of rubber film here that just protects the mud from going in there. So first I just peeled that back, and notice these brake lines are made of metal. So obviously you cannot pinch this line. And so what I actually did is there's a bolt securing it here. As you can see, this lines up right here. And there's also one on the other side, but the bolt goes this direction towards the camera. So I also removed that bolt. So some people actually drop the sway bar to get the starter out, but my bolts were so rusted and I didn't want to fight it. Then you can kind of scoot this whole assembly quite a bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and start reassembling things. But the thing that I'm concerned about is there was a little bit of a rattling noise. So I don't know if that rattling noise was some loose pieces of the shredded gear on the old starter. And I don't know if that's in the bottom of the transmission, the bottom of the bell housing, or simply just inside this little hole, this pocket where the old starter was. So first I'm going to wiggle my finger around in there and see if there's any shards. And then, like I said, upon that first start, I'm really going to listen, and I hope that there's nothing left in there, or else it will chew up that big flywheel gear, as well as maybe the new starter. And the other thing to know, it might be hard to listen to at first, but the noise would only go when I'm accelerating or decelerating. So that's what makes me think there's a piece of shrapnel in there, or when I accelerate, it goes backwards, go into that wheel and grind up. But then when I'd come to a stop, I think it would finally settle down into the bottom. And if that is the case, on the bottom of the transmission or the bell housing, I believe there's 2 to 4 12 millimeter bolts. You can take off this little plate that's kind of below the firewall, and you can have access to the bottom portion of the bell housing. I don't know if that's where it even sits, but we'll do that if we have to. Looking in there, I can see that big flywheel gear. Upon feeling the backside of the wall, I do feel some scratches and scrapes in the aluminum, so that makes me think that it was just the starter gear banging around in this pocket. But I don't think there's actually any loose shrapnel. One thing to know when removing the starter, this piece also fell out. Let's go ahead and put this back into place. But if you look in the top left corner, I do see where it came out of. Alright, that simply just wiggled into that rubber boot pretty easy. So now I'm slowly wiggling that into place. This is exactly how I'm doing it. It's a pain in the butt. This is the hardest part of the job. Finally got that sat in there. The part number faces us, notice that, as well as this 12 millimeter bolt. I left it on there just so I don't bang up the threads while installing, but I'm gonna have to remove it. But leave that on there just so you're not messing up your threads. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put in the two main 12 millimeter bolts. And one thing to note is it can drop down pretty far in this pocket. So I had to actually drop it down there, do a 180. I've got that first electrical connector plugged in. It's the color black. So you can see it's right there. It's impossible to plug it in the other way, so you can't mess it up. So let's go ahead and remove this 12 millimeter bolt, and then let's attach this wire to it. Since we're working with electrical connectors, wouldn't hurt to take a metal wire brush or some sandpaper to that. just to clean off any rust or corrosion. That way we can make some good solid contacts, because that can also cause issues with your starter. Also notice on the black plastic, there's a little groove that this piece will go into as you tighten that down. To get that tightened on there, I just have a 12mm on a ratchet. And as you can see, that metal contact fell into that groove. Now let's put our cap on. I put that cap on. As you can see, my ratchet is currently on the top bolt for the starter. There's just two 14mm bolts, and it's actually pretty simple. If you have an electric ratchet or a hand ratchet, that works too. Then I have it on a hand extension with my swivel socket and then my 14mm, and it works quite well. And to bolt this in, I started with the top bolt, then did the bottom bolt. If you do the top bolt first, the starter's really heavy, so it sags down, so it's hard to get it mount and flush and level to this backplate surface. So what I did is I just took some pliers and wedged them in there. That way it sits upright and fills the gap. But now that those bolts are tightened down, I can go ahead and remove these and see if I can at least get the vehicle to start. Awesome, so it seemed to start up. It sounded a little rough, but maybe that's just because I held the key too long. But now I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my transmission dipstick tube and then reconnect these two brackets. It's just right there, so let's plug in the tube. Then let's go ahead and put this bolt back in. It goes on the back side of this one. It goes in towards the camera like this. Then we can do this one here as well. It's the same bolts. Nice, then notice that little tab just went into this hole. And to get that inside bolt, it's a pain in the butt, but the best way in is underneath. I have the 12mm long, just connected to a regular ratchet. Here's that transmission dipstick tube. I wish I had a new O-ring, but I don't. So I'm just gonna go in from the top of the engine bay and plug this back in. You just gotta line up the bolt with the engine block. Then obviously just clean up the surface, because you don't want junk in your transmission. When pushing downward, you want to be pushing up on the other part, just so you don't bust the bottom tube out of the transmission. So you just kind of grab both ends and plug them together. Once you feed the dipstick down in there, it's kind of hard, so you have to grab the actual stick and just feed it down. And just make sure that black clip is locked over the reddish cap. And here's that rubber mud flap. So it looks like two of my grommets stayed and the other ones came with. So let's plug in these top three. Then these will just have to kind of stretch them and put them back over the old. Now let's go ahead and put the tire on. Alright, we got the wheel on. Just simply thread the lug nuts on by hand. You don't want to cross thread them, so always start them by hand. And go ahead and tighten them down in the star pattern. And I believe the torque spec, I'll throw it on screen, is 80 to 83 foot-pounds. And it's a 21mm socket. Alright, then connect your battery. So I did this one first, fasten the 10mm, then did the negative, did the 13mm. Let's close the hood and go for a drive.